They told you to attract it, to visualize it, to write it down 10 times a day and feel it in your bones. But what if I told you that the very act of trying to attract something is what's keeping it away? This is the illusion no one talks about, the spiritual trap of attraction. When you believe you must pull something into your life, whether it's love, abundance, peace, or purpose, you're unconsciously reinforcing that it's not here yet, that it's outside of you, distant, separate. And this belief creates a vibrational gap between you and the reality you desire. In the quantum field, that gap is everything. See, the universe doesn't respond to want. It responds to being. The quantum field isn't a catalog you browse with desire. It's a mirror that reflects your frequency with mathematical precision. Every time you long for something, you're broadcasting lack. Every time you chase, you're vibrating from the absence of what you claim to want. And the field, loyal and unjudging, reflects it back. This is where most people get stuck. They affirm with their words, but contradict with their energy. They meditate in the morning and panic the rest of the day. They say they believe, but deep down, they're vibrating fear, doubt, impatience. The result? The same loops, the same stuckness, the same manifestations, or lack thereof. But here's the awakening. You don't need to attract what you already are. You don't magnetize what's distant. You collapse into what's already available in the field. Everything you desire already exists, not as fantasy, but as frequency. In the quantum realm, all possibilities coexist simultaneously, like channels on a radio. You're not summoning anything new into existence. You're simply tuning into what's already there, waiting for you to match it. This is the shift from attraction to alignment, from pulling to embodying, from wishing to becoming. Joe Dispenza calls this the field of infinite potentials, a realm where every version of your life already exists as energy. And when your thoughts, emotions, and identity align with one of those timelines, reality collapses. Not because you earned it, not because you forced it, but because you became the version of you who lives it. This means the work isn't out there. It's not about scripting or rituals or waiting for signs. It's about coherence, being internally aligned with the life you say you want. It's about feeling now what you used to wait for, acting now as if it's already true, thinking now like the version of you who already has it, not out of delusion, but out of energetic alignment. The truth is, you're not attracting anything. You're remembering, returning, realigning. The you who already has what you desire isn't in the future. It's in a parallel possibility, accessible through frequency. So let me ask you, what if the delay you're experiencing isn't about divine timing, but about vibrational mismatch? What if the field is already trying to give it to you, but your identity is rejecting it because you're not yet in sync? We begin this journey not by doing more, but by seeing differently, by waking up to the biggest illusion in manifestation, that you need to get what you already are. Once you understand this, the chase ends, the noise fades, and a deeper knowing takes over. You were never separate from your dream life. You were just tuned to the wrong channel. This video isn't about teaching you how to attract. It's about showing you how to step into your power, into your truth, into your timeline. Because the future isn't something you reach, it's something you embody. And the quantum field, it's been waiting for your signal all along. What if everything you've ever wanted already exists, not in some distant future, but right here, in a version of now you haven't stepped into yet? This isn't a metaphor, it's quantum reality. In classical thinking, life moves linearly. Cause, then effect. You act, then results follow. But in the quantum world, time isn't linear. Reality doesn't unfold in a straight line. It's a spectrum of infinite possibilities, all vibrating in potential, waiting for one thing: your alignment. In this realm, you don't attract a new reality. You tune into it. You access it. You collapse it. Let's break this down. At the quantum level, everything behaves as both particle and wave. A wave is pure potential, endless possibilities, until it's observed. When a conscious observer focuses on that wave, it collapses into a specific outcome. This isn't theory, it's physics. The famous double-slit experiment proves it again and again. Reality changes when observed. Your observation isn't passive, it's creative. It doesn't just watch reality unfold, it shapes what becomes real. This is where quantum manifestation begins, not by begging the universe to give you something, but by becoming the energy that resonates with what's already there. Think of your desires like radio stations. The abundance you crave, it's already playing. The love you crave, it's vibrating at a frequency. Your dream life isn't behind a locked door, it's broadcasting right now. But if you're tuned to lack, fear, doubt, or survival, you'll never pick up that signal. Not because it isn't there, but because you're not aligned with it. This is where resonance becomes the master key. In the quantum field, like attracts, like isn't just philosophy, it's science. Everything has a frequency. Every thought, every emotion, every belief. When your inner state matches the frequency of your desire, the field doesn't deliver, it reflects. Your identity becomes the signal. Your energy becomes the command. This is where Neville Goddard's teachings meet quantum physics. His timeless principle, assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, isn't about pretending. It's about embodying. Feeling now what your future self feels naturally, not as an act, but as a transmission, a declaration, a collapse. You don't manifest a new reality by thinking harder. You do it by being it. This is why people who chase outcomes often push them away. Because chasing vibrates from the belief, I don't have it yet. That frequency only attracts more of the same, longing, separation, waiting. But when you shift into presence, not wishful presence, but vibrational alignment, you move from asking to allowing, from hoping to receiving. Let's simplify. Reality isn't something outside of you. It's something within your frequency range. Your job isn't to pull it in, it's to tune in. That means aligning your inner state with the life you want to live. It means feeling abundant before the money arrives, feeling loved before the relationship appears, feeling whole before anything external confirms it. This isn't delusion, it's alignment. The quantum field isn't testing your patience, it's responding to your vibration. When your thoughts and emotions match your desired reality, the field collapses in your favor, not as a reward, but as law. Let this sink in. You don't manifest from the energy of wanting, you manifest from the vibration of knowing. Knowing it already exists, and your frequency is the key. So next time you feel stuck, ask, what am I trying to attract that I haven't yet become? What future am I blocking by refusing to feel it now? Because if reality is a mirror, every shift begins not with effort, but with tuning in. Reality isn't something to chase, earn, or attract. It's something to access through the most powerful tool you have, your frequency. Every time you say, I want this, the quantum field listens, but not to your words, to your vibration. And most of the time, what it hears is, I don't have it yet. Let that sink in. When you try to attract something from a place of absence, you emit lack. When you crave something desperately, you anchor in the frequency of not having. And this is the paradox that traps so many in endless cycles of almost manifesting. They want a new reality, but haven't yet become the version of themselves who lives in it. You don't manifest what you want, you manifest what you are. This isn't about moral worthiness or spiritual judgment. It's pure physics. The quantum field doesn't respond to your longing. It responds to your alignment. So if your energy says, "One day I'll get there," then that day stays just out of reach, because you're not resonating with the now, where it already exists. Here's the truth. You can't hold a reality you're not emotionally matched with. Even if it shows up briefly, it will fade. Why? Because your subconscious will reject it to protect your current identity, the self you keep reinforcing with your feelings, thoughts, and daily energy. Think of your vibration like a radio signal. You can't tune into 101.1 FM while broadcasting at 87.5. No matter how badly you want to hear the music of your dream life, if your system is still set to fear, doubt, control, or impatience, you won't receive it. Not because it isn't there, but because you aren't there yet. This is where the ego quietly steps in. The ego thrives in the gap between who you are and what you want. It feeds on the tension of, "I'll be happy when." It survives on the illusion of lack, pushing you to chase, struggle, and force. But the field doesn't respond to effort. It responds to coherence. And coherence happens not when you try harder, but when you surrender deeper into trust, presence, and vibrational harmony. Bruce Lipton's work in epigenetics proves this beautifully. Your biology constantly adapts to your inner world. Your cells don't just react to the physical, they follow the energy of your beliefs, emotions, and frequency. This means your body, and thus your actions, habits, and choices, will always align with who you believe you are. So ask yourself honestly, are you seeking love while vibrating in self-defense? Chasing abundance while resonating with scarcity? Visualizing your dream life while emotionally stuck in fear? If so, you're not broken. You're just on the wrong frequency. To collapse a new reality, you don't need more willpower. You need vibrational integrity. You must feel it before you see it. Embody it before you prove it. Become it before you believe it. This is why identity work is sacred. The version of you who already lives in your desired reality. What do they feel? How do they move, breathe, speak? What do they refuse to tolerate or fear anymore? These aren't performance questions, they're frequency questions. Because when you start embodying even a fraction of that version now, you begin merging timelines. You shift from hoping to holding, from trying to tuning. It's subtle but profound. You're no longer trying to get there. You realize you're already on the path, and every emotional alignment is a step. Every moment you respond differently. Every thought you lift. Every limiting belief you release. You're closing the gap between who you were and who you're becoming. And that closure is what the universe reads as readiness. Let's make this simple. You don't receive what you're unwilling to become. That doesn't mean forcing yourself into someone you're not. It means recalling who you truly are beneath the noise of fear and old stories. The instant you stop trying to attract from lack and start creating from presence, everything shifts. Not because you're chasing it, but because you've become the magnet, the match, the reflection. And in the quantum realm, that's all that's needed. You won't hear it, see it, or even realize at first that something pivotal just occurred. But the moment your vibration changes, reality starts collapsing. Not collapsing as in crumbling, collapsing as in selecting, crystallizing, solidifying a possibility into form. That's what collapsing reality truly means in the quantum field. Not destruction, but creation. Not effort, but alignment. And the most crucial truth, it doesn't announce itself. The quantum shift is quiet, subtle, internal. At first, it seems like nothing's different, but everything is. Your frequency rearranged, your timeline tilted, your emotional signature began resonating closer to the reality you've been calling in, and the universe, like a mirror, started bending to reflect it. Yet because we're conditioned by the 3D mind, we doubt. We look around and think, nothing's changed. So we backtrack, we second guess, we slip back into the lower frequency that feels familiar, even if it no longer fits. Don't. This is the most delicate, most sacred moment of quantum manifestation, the invisible shift. See, the 3D world moves in time. The quantum field doesn't. It responds instantly to energetic alignment. But your senses, your eyes, ears, logic, may need time to catch up to what your soul already activated. That's why faith isn't just spiritual, it's a vibrational anchor. When you maintain your alignment after the shift, even without proof, you're telling the field, this is who I am now. And that consistency is what deepens the signal, amplifies the frequency, and speeds up the collapse. Let's make this real. You decide to become abundant. You meditate. You feel peace. You shift out of lack. That moment is a collapse. The field starts to shift. But then, your bank account doesn't update overnight. Your old doubts creep in, and you question if anything really changed. It did, but it's unseen. For now. Like a seed buried in the earth, the collapse begins in the dark. It rewires your energy. It recalibrates your magnetic field. And as you stay in that state, as you keep feeling abundant, the outer world begins to bend. Opportunities appear. Ideas ignite. Synchronicities unfold. You don't have to force it. You just have to stay in alignment. This is where quantum coherence becomes key. Coherence is when your brain and heart sync. Your thoughts match your feelings, and your feelings anchor your identity. Research from the Heart Math Institute shows that when this alignment happens, your electromagnetic field grows stronger, more organized, and sharper. You become a clear channel, a strong signal. And the field always answers the strongest signal. So when your heart says, I already have this, and your mind agrees, boom, collapse. This is why surrender isn't weakness, it's strength. It's not abandoning your dream. It's releasing the need for it to look a certain way or arrive on a schedule, because you already collapsed it the instant you vibrated with certainty. Abraham Hicks calls this the receptive mode. It's not about striving, forcing, or pleading. It's a state of readiness, of trust, of knowing. And from that knowing, you receive. Not because you've earned it, but because you've become it. Let's be clear. You won't witness the exact moment your reality changes, but you will sense it. A quiet calm, a flash of insight, a warmth of joy without cause. That's your sign. That's the ripple of the collapse. That's where true change starts. When you're no longer chasing your new life, you're living as it. So the next time you sense that invisible shift, stay there. Don't demand proof. Don't panic when the world pauses to mirror what's already changed within. Hold your frequency. The world will catch up. Because manifestation isn't about making something new. It's about embodying something real. And once you do, reality has no choice but to meet you there. There's a moment, subtle but profound, when you realize the universe isn't testing you, punishing you, or denying you. It's just responding. The quantum field isn't emotional. It doesn't see what you desire and question whether you deserve it. It doesn't scan your past, your karma, or your ambitions. It only registers one thing: your frequency. It reflects it, faithfully, exactly, every time. That's why life can feel confusing. Your conscious mind asks for one thing, while your vibration broadcasts another. You might visualize abundance but hum with scarcity. You might affirm love but pulsate with fear of rejection. You might dream of freedom but cling emotionally to control, doubt, or comparison. And the field? It doesn't argue or assess. It just mirrors back what you are, consistently. It's not personal. It's physics. This is the Great Awakening. Manifestation isn't about persuading the universe to give you what you want. It's about aligning your energy with the version of you who already has it. That version of you already exists. It's already woven into the field. But you can't access it from a frequency that clashes with it. The field can't deliver peace through chaos. It can't offer worth through self-doubt. Not because you're undeserving, but because the vibrations aren't a match. So what do? You quit fixating on outcomes and start tending to your inner state. You commit to the sacred practice of witnessing your thoughts, not judging them, but noticing them. You tune into your emotional baseline, not just your occasional highs and lows, but your habitual undercurrent. But it's unseen, for now. Like a seed buried in the earth, the collapse begins in the dark. It rewires your energy. It recalibrates your magnetic field. And as you stay in that state, as you keep feeling abundant, the outer world begins to bend. Opportunities appear, ideas ignite, synchronicities unfold. You don't have to force it. You just have to stay in alignment. This is where quantum coherence becomes key. Coherence is when your brain and heart sync. Your thoughts match your feelings, and your feelings anchor your identity. Research from the Heart Math Institute shows that when this alignment happens, your electromagnetic field grows stronger, more organized, and sharper. You become a clear channel, a strong signal. And the field always answers the strongest signal. So when your heart says, "I already have this," and your mind agrees, boom, collapse. This is why surrender isn't weakness, it's strength. It's not abandoning your dream. It's releasing the need for it to look a certain way or arrive on a schedule, because you already collapsed it the instant you vibrated with certainty. Abraham Hicks calls this the receptive mode. It's not about striving, forcing, or pleading. It's a state of readiness, of trust, of knowing. And from that knowing, you receive. Not because you've earned it, but because you've become it. Let's be clear. You won't witness the exact moment your reality changes, but you will sense it. A quiet calm, a flash of insight, a warmth of joy without cause. That's your sign. That's the ripple of the collapse. That's where true change starts. When you're no longer chasing your new life, you're living as it. So the next time you sense that invisible shift, stay there. Don't demand proof. Don't panic when the world pauses to mirror what's already changed within. Hold your frequency. The world will catch up. Because manifestation isn't about making something new. It's about embodying something real. And once you do, reality has no choice but to meet you there. There's a moment, subtle but profound, when you realize the universe isn't testing you, punishing you, or denying you. It's just responding. The quantum field isn't emotional. It doesn't see what you desire and question whether you deserve it. It doesn't scan your past, your karma, or your ambitions. It only registers one thing: your frequency. It reflects it, faithfully, exactly, every time. That's why life can feel confusing. Your conscious mind asks for one thing, while your vibration broadcasts another. You might visualize abundance but hum with scarcity. You might affirm love but pulsate with fear of rejection. You might dream of freedom but cling emotionally to control, doubt, or comparison. And the field? It doesn't argue or assess. It just mirrors back what you are, consistently. It's not personal. It's physics. This is the Great Awakening. Manifestation isn't about persuading the universe to give you what you want. It's about aligning your energy with the version of you who already has it. That version of you already exists. It's already woven into the field. But you can't access it from a frequency that clashes with it. The field can't deliver peace through chaos. It can't offer worth through self-doubt. Not because you're undeserving, but because the vibrations aren't a match. So what do? You quit fixating on outcomes and start tending to your inner state. You commit to the sacred practice of witnessing your thoughts, not judging them, but noticing them. You tune into your emotional baseline, not just your occasional highs and lows, but your habitual undercurrent. With every breath, every belief, every moment of presence, you're casting votes into the field. You're declaring, "This is who I am," and the universe answers in kind. So let this be the shift. You don't have to earn your dream life. You just have to align with it. You have to transmit it. And you must do it with the emotional certainty of someone already living it. That's why this moment matters. This is your moment to stop reacting and start radiating, to stop pleading and start projecting, to stop justifying and start becoming. Because the field is already listening. If this resonated, type in the comments, "I am choosing what to see." Let writing it down be a vibrational anchor, a signal to the universe that you now view life through the lens of creation, not reaction. There's a frequency within you, subtle, powerful, timeless, that the universe is attuned to. Not your words, not your routines, not your vision boards, but the quiet, steady hum beneath it all. This is the energy that shapes realities. This is the code the quantum field answers to. And most people overlook it, not because they're failing, but because they're forcing it. You don't need to persuade the universe. You need to align with it. Here's the truth. Manifestation isn't about effort. It's about harmony. Emotional harmony. Energetic alignment. Congruence between what you think, what you feel, and what you embody. The quantum field isn't a genie. It's a mirror. It doesn't reward struggle. It reflects resonance. That's why desperation pushes away. That's why forced positivity doesn't work. That's why saying one thing while feeling another creates confusion in your timeline. The field is neutral. It doesn't judge. It doesn't ask why you want what you want. It doesn't check if you're worthy. It simply amplifies your signal. And the cleaner, clearer, and more aligned your signal is, the faster reality shifts. Coherence is what turns a vague wish into a gravitational pull. Let's make this practical. What does living in coherence look like? It looks like waking up and choosing gratitude before planning. It looks like making decisions your future self will appreciate. It looks like feeling at peace even before results show up. Because you know you're already on the right frequency. That's the transformation. When you stop obsessing over outcomes and start nurturing alignment. When your trust becomes your compass. And here's the magic. The moment you fully align, mentally, emotionally, energetically, you no longer have to chase. What's meant for you finds you. You stop forcing things, and they start flowing through you. Because the quantum field doesn't respond to pressure. It responds to presence. Let's go deeper. Every time you enter true coherence, your heart emits a powerful electromagnetic signal that communicates with the field instantly. That signal overrides your thoughts. It overrides your plans. It's you, free of resistance, tuned to truth. You don't need perfect conditions. You need a clear signal. You don't need more information. You need deeper embodiment. You don't need to try harder to manifest. You need to remember who you already are. Because here's the ultimate truth. You're not waiting for your future. Your future is waiting for your alignment. And when that clicks, When your vibration settles into truth, peace, and wholeness, the shift happens effortlessly. Be coherent. That's when timelines change. That's when the field answers. That's when manifestation stops being a technique and starts being your default state. The field is listening. The only question is, what are you transmitting? If you want to keep growing with us, take the next step inward. Subscribe to our channel. It's free, and it's where our community dives deeper.